What's up? What's up? Finally back. Nice vacation though. Had a damn good time with the kids. Most of my kids are grown, so it's a little more fun, Get a little tipsy, have a good time. Oh, but I've been out of here since last week. Nice vacation though. Had a damn good time with the kids. All right. Like I said, it's a good time. Hate to see them all go though. That sucks. That's the part of parenthood no one ever really tells you about. Is it's all fine and good when they're little kids and they're in their beds or whatever, but when they get grown, get places of their own, careers of their own, it's awful hard to see them go. Kind of sucks. But at least now my house is quiet. not a not a ton has gone on since I've been gone. Let's see, where should we start? Apparently, there was supposed to be some kind of big to do meeting, public meeting. A lot of people assumed, including me, that that might be Colorado tearing ass. They canceled the meeting. And all of a sudden, no, they're never leaving the Pac 12. Let's slow down there, Mr. Tony Altamore. We know damn well who that is. Who that is. Just oh, what did he tweet out? Oh, no one's ever going. It's just Big 12 and on and all this kind of crap. Like, you're an idiot. Hey, Larry Pilgrim, what's up, dude? Just popped up. Yeah, just popped up. I'm a little late. Sorry about that. But, you know, better late than never. At least I'm back. Damn it. And then who was it? Who was it today? Or a couple days ago? I think it's Pete Thamel dropped a damn article. Just when you thought nothing was going to happen, right? No, Pac-12 safe. That public meeting that wasn't supposed to be about anything anyway got canceled. You know, maybe somebody had to have emergency butthole surgery or whatever it is. Thought that was pretty funny. Everyone was like, "Oh, see, they're not leaving." It's like, well, hold on. I thought that meeting was worthless. I thought it was nothing. I mean, which one is it? Is it something or nothing? According to Pete Thamel, it's something. Man, now I'm all rude, chewing in y'all's ear. Sorry. Oh, yeah. So, Pete Thamel, we knew Colorado had met with the Big 12 in person. That's been out there for a while. There's a lot of things that we knew. It has to be a certain type of deal. You need a certain amount of money and exposure. Not going to get that on Apple. That's been out there for a while. And but one thing that was kind of interesting from Andrew Marchand is apparently he poo-pooed the Memphis thing. That's been a lot of talk about Memphis. And no, as a matter of fact, the Big 12 rightly is going to continue on with this Pac 12 thing. And then later on, they're going to see what goes on with the ACC before they even think about schools like Memphis. And that's the correct play. It's the correct play right now. I like Memphis. I'm telling you this right now. I would like them in the Big 12 one day. But there's a lot of stuff that has to happen. A lot of stuff has to go on before you can just climb into bed with Memphis. And it's Pac 12 and then ACC down the line. That's what it is. Larry Pilgrim, I wouldn't bet money on anything right now. And then Curtis D316, Colorado's having a meeting on Monday. Well, they are. Look, something's going to pop off with Colorado. I mean, another big takeaway from the Andrew Marchand, son of a bitch, Pete Thamel article was that it's not a surprise at all to the Pac 12 that Colorado could jump. And And here's the funny thing: they're already planning on putting in San Diego State in their place, so they're not actually trying to get back to the Pac-12. They're perfectly happy with a Pac-10. Yeah, and then they're just going to backfill. Now this has to happen quickly. I believe the date is on July 1st. On July 1st, I keep hearing June 30th, July 1st, whatever that deadline is for San Diego State. You know, their buyout doubles, so that's a problem. So something needs to be rectified before July 1st. They have to let the Mountain West know that they're going. So I'm sure they don't want to do that before they actually know they have somewhere to go. All right, because there's been rumors of the Big 12, but there's nothing concrete there. I mean, there's more concrete evidence to suggest UConn or Gonzaga than San Diego State. But with the Pac-12, they've talked. There hasn't been any kind of invite. And I'm guessing that's because they're waiting for Colorado to go. And I would say more than likely Arizona as well. As a matter of fact, no one really knows why they canceled that meeting. What was it, last Friday, that public meeting? I got a little bit of speculation. I don't have any sources. I don't have any inside baseball information. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not Greg Flugar. I'm not some of these types that, might have a little songbird singing their tune at them. I just don't have that. I just come on here and I talk shit. And I try to make it as logical as possible, for whatever that's worth. But when it comes to, San Diego State, when it comes to Colorado and why they canceled that meeting, it wouldn't really surprise me if they got a call from someone in Arizona and said, hey, I know y'all are really making your plans here. You're, as Greg Flugar says, an eyelash away from jumping. Hold off on whatever you're planning. We're going to try to go with you. Wouldn't that be a reason to kind of put a halt on everything? Like, oh, we don't have to go alone. If we don't mind waiting a couple weeks, if Arizona can work something out with Arizona State so they can go. Because I'm not sure that Arizona State is going to go. But then again, they may if Arizona is. So give them a couple weeks to try to work something out, or try to get Arizona State to go with them as a package deal, then all three at once. That could very well happen. Of course, no one in the Pac-12 would really think of that. They think I'm stupid. But that's fine. That's fine. We'll see what happens. Yeah, let's see here. Tim Carson. Hey, what's up, dude? Supposed to be another meeting on Monday, Colorado bigwigs. Yeah, sure is a hell of a lot of meetings for nothing going on, isn't there, Tim? Just nothing's going on. Nothing to see here. We're just, we got to get together and see if we're going to go 2-ply or 3-ply on the toilet paper. That's all this shit's about. Larry Pilgrim, I have a feeling some of these shows that claim sources are full of it. The spin zone, you could say. Oh, pulling out some old Bill O'Reilly shit, huh? I don't know, man. I don't think Flugar's full of it. He talked about his little hot bubble of action May 7th, and then he linked that to what Pete Thamel was talking about, the Big 12 and Colorado talking face to face. But what's his name from Arizona? Jason Shear. He had said that he talked to face to face with Brett Yormark, and this was several months ago. So I don't know. I guess it's a hot bubble of action, but it's not really a surprise bubble of action. It's kind of something we already kind of know. Let's see, Mike Alberson, what's up, dude? ASU's AD and president said that they are staying in the Pac-12 no matter what happens. Well, then that just I I don't know. That makes that my speculation that maybe Arizona called Colorado and said, hey, give us a couple weeks to catch up and let's go together. Because I don't know. I just don't see Arizona agreeing to a damn thing in the PAC, because whatever deal they get, it's going to be an Apple deal. So, and I don't think they're really on board with that, and I'm pretty damn sure Colorado isn't either. Let's see. Curtis D316 reports the Pac-12 has ran out of options. Even Apple is no longer an option. Well, according to Andrew Marchand in the ORAN podcast, they're everything in sports business, or at least in college business. According to them, Apple is still kind of a wild card. They don't know anything specifically with Apple, but Apple's the only one that hasn't said that they were out. Everyone else is out. Everyone else has been more than happy to say they're out and leak that, or just say it directly like CBS did or NBC, but they're all out. The only one who has never said anything about being out is Apple, and they're the ones with the most money. People are talking CW, people are talking Ion again now. I know the Monty show was like, oh, Ion they haven't talked to. Yeah, they haven't talked to anybody. I know they had the president on his show, the president of Ion. Well, what's he going to say? He didn't want to burn any bridges. All I know is Ion's not going to do a multi-billion-dollar deal with anybody. They ain't got it like that. They're just starting out. I mean, they scraped together a deal with the WNBA. That's great, but it's not huge money. It's not. CW is dipping their toe into the sports water. They want to get more into sports. I can see them getting involved, but it's not going to be ESPN, Fox level money or exposure. So you have a problem. And they got kicked out of the room before because apparently the CW, didn't want to broadcast games nationwide. They want to kind of localize it to where these schools are. And that wasn't big. That wasn't big with the Pac-12. So I could see them doing a bunch of little linear shit. Maybe, a little bit, that $9 million a year per school from ESPN cobbled together with some other bullshit. But what does that get you? Does that get you to $25 million a year? Probably not. Even with, if you, a little bit of ESPN, Ion, scripts, that kind of shit, it ain't going to get you where you want to go. And with Amazon being out, that really hurt you. That really hurt you, because I think they were interested in a game a week, and they would have probably paid between $9 and $10 million per school. It would have been good money, but they don't want that. Apple is probably the biggest amount of money you're going to get, but the exposure sucks. And sure, they'll sub-license to ESPN or whomever, but they're only going to do maybe sub-license a game or two. That's about it. Everything else will be on Apple. Everything. Including your big boys. All right, I'll shut up for a minute. Make sure I'm caught up here. Larry Pilgrim, if you think Monty is 100, you are kidding yourself. No, I don't. I check them out once in a while just to kind of see the shit they're saying. Monty reporting the Apple thing. Well, it was more than... I can't remember who else said something about Apple. But, I mean, I just deduce myself, they're the only ones that have said that they're in. They're still talking. They're still interested. You had someone from Apple, I can't think of the name. I'm sorry, I can't think of the name, but someone did an interview from Apple talking about a deal with the Pac-12 and didn't get into a whole lot of specifics, but they did say that linear was important. Linear would be a part of a deal between Apple and the Pac-12. I don't know. There's the reason you haven't seen a deal with Apple yet. Number one, it's Apple. They're still trying to find anybody else but Apple. I'm sure they're recalling and going straight to voicemail from all these places that are tired of talking to you. But some of the problems I'm pretty sure with Apple, it's taking so long because I know Apple takes a while to do a deal. It doesn't take this long. All right, because it was first reported in February that they were interested. They were in, so to speak. And that's when it was reported. So that means they were probably in a month or two before that, if not even before that. So Apple's been involved in talking to the PAC for a long time. I think the problem isn't even the money. I guarantee you the money's not even the concern at this point. The concern is the exposure, that it's Apple, a grant of rights. How long is this TV deal going to be? I've been saying if it's a deal with Apple, it's going to be at least 8 years. And I guarantee you, Oregon and Washington, they don't want anything more than a 3 to 5 year kind of deal. That's it. And they want to be able to bounce anytime they want. That's not going to be cool with Apple. So there's been some issues here. All right, that's something that's gumming up. Oregon and Washington are really gumming up the works, if you ask me. If you want to know what the holdup is, ask Oregon, ask Washington, because their ass is out of here as soon as the Big Ten is ready for them. And the Big Ten are going to take them. It's just a matter of time. Is it going to be this summer? Is it going to be 2 years down the road? Is it going to be 5 years down the road? Is it going to be when the next Big Ten TV deal is coming down the pike? Is that when they're going to add them? I don't know. No one really knows. It's all speculation. The only thing we know for sure, there's been enough smoke about the Big Ten. They want them. And there's been enough smoke that Fox, CBS, and NBC are willing to pay for them. That's key. Does your media partners, are they willing to pay? Well, it's been reported they are. So that's what I'm going with. Let's see. Larry Pilgrim. Isn't any space except late. Holy shit. Isn't any space except late night window. Take Apple and move on. Well, that's the problem, Larry. You go with Apple. I mean, Colorado, Arizona, kiss them goodbye. And they know that. They know that. But here's the problem. Oregon and Washington, are they going to be cool with a mostly Apple deal? Fuck no, they're not going to be. No. And here's where their problem is. What if the Big Ten says, hey, we want you, we want to get you. A lot of things going on right now. We're barely making this deadline for our TV deal. That was a mess. All kinds of crap. Don't know. It may take us a couple of years. So what happens then? Because look, has Oregon and Washington talked to the Big 12? I'm sure they've said hello. Okay? I don't know anything more than that. I guarantee you there's been a little more in-depth conversation between Oregon, Washington, and ESPN, possibly Fox as well. Because there was a story a while back, ESPN would kick in some incentives for Oregon and Washington to go to the Big 12. Now, that would not be a permanent move, Big 12 fans, which I am one. It would not be a permanent move. It would be for, however long it takes them to get to the Big 10. That's what it would be. And yeah, the Big 10, in case anyone's wondering, they really do want them. Because just look at the problems they're having right now. All right, NBC, they're the ones that have the prime time window slot, 7 p.m., let's say. And Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, they don't want to play primetime games in November when it's cold as shit. They just don't. Traditionally, they always play earlier in the day when it's a little warmer. So they have a problem with that. NBC has a problem with that because they want big games on primetime. Why wouldn't you? Right? I mean, that's the whole reason you pay the NFL a shit ton of money so you can get big time matchups prime time and get all the ratings. And make all the ad revenue from it. So You add Oregon and Washington, and then in November, what do you get? You get Oregon versus USC. That's a pretty nice primetime matchup for November. Or, you know, let's say you get Ohio State going to USC, or Michigan going to Oregon in November. Those, it just gives you more great matchups, more possibilities of great matchups in the month of November, when all these schools don't want to play after dark. So it makes all the sense in the world. In case you forgot, Oregon has great ratings. Washington, fantastic ratings. I didn't even talk about matchups with Washington. Nebraska going to Washington on a 7 o'clock start, NBC, middle of November. Yeah, that's ratings. That's big ratings. Nebraska's got a huge fan base. Washington, not too bad themselves. They both get good ratings coupled together, and especially if they're both doing well that season, that would be a primetime primo matchup for NBC. So yeah, that's why they're willing to pay for those two schools to come in. It alleviates a lot of problems they're having. Let's see, Derek Murray, Facts Fire, appreciate that, sir. AAR, what's up, dude? How do you negotiate for 16 months and then don't come up with a media deal? The whole thing is ridiculous. Dude, they had a deal with ESPN and Fox. They could have re-upped for the same money. It's been reported over and over again. Same money the Big 12. They thought that was ridiculously small change. Even though they were losing USC. Even though they're losing UCLA. The Big 12 played ball. Did business. Saw. And by the way, Brett Yarmark, everyone's acts like he's doing all this on his own. No. He went out and hired Endeavor. He knows people there. Trust them. This is a multi-billion-dollar organization. Their whole business model is to make you filthy rich, and then they get lots of nice kickbacks on top of that. Because the more money you make, the more money they make. All right, it's a little bit like one of the Monty Show's ambulance chaser guys, right? The more money you make, the more money we make. Endeavor is a perfect partner for the Big 12 to help that thing grow. And they knew right then, don't screw around, make a deal, because 2023, the economy is going to go a little shit. It's going to take a shit, and you don't want to have it land on your face like it's doing with the Pac-12. Mike Albertson, I don't see why ASU is so in love with the Pac-12. Dude, I don't know. To tell you the truth, I don't think it's the Pac-12. I think there are these schools like Utah and apparently ASU that have these weird dreams of getting into the Big Ten. All I want to say is wake up. Your ass ain't going. There's not an invite that's going to be left under your pillow when your stupid tooth falls out. You're just going to be left with stink breath and some blood trickling down your chin. You ain't going to the Big Ten. It's Big 12 or Apple. That's what you got. That's what you got. Larry Pilgrim, exposure going to suck now that ESPN has the SEC with Texas and Oklahoma. How's exposure going to suck, Larry? And suck for who? You need to be a little more specific. I'm just going to take this as a, exposure going to suck now that ESPN has the SEC with Texas. I'm going to take it that you're thinking the Big 12's exposure is going to suck worse with Texas and Oklahoma gone. Well, if you look at the schedule next year for the Big 12, doing fine. I mean, there's you start off the year with TCU against Colorado, Fox Big Noon game. That's not FS1. That's not ESPN Plus. That's Fox Big Noon. I know what you're saying. That's because Coach Prime. It is. But if it was Coach Prime versus North Dakota State, is that going to be the Big Noon game? No, no, it's not. And the next week, I think Colorado has Nebraska. I think that's right. I think they have Nebraska after that. Yeah, you're going to put that on a big time matchup too. And by the way, TCU has several big games. ESPN, like regular ESPN, also ESPN2. The Big 12 is very well represented, is all I'm going to say. Outside of Texas and Oklahoma games, very well represented on Fox properties and ESPN properties. So, not worried about exposure. Curtis D316, Big Ten sounding like they might not expand for a few years. So, Oregon and Washington could join the Big 12. That's what I'm saying. You know, they may, well, they won't hold off till the ACC. Tell you the truth, I don't know why they would hold off past this summer for Oregon and Washington, but there's a chance there's a better and good chance that they do. I'm not some Big Ten insider here on what they're thinking. Have no idea. All I do know is that it could possibly take up to 3 or 4 or 5 years for them to make that move to Oregon and Washington. So it only makes sense for Oregon and Washington to park their ass in the Big 12 for a few years, collect a nice paycheck, get all the exposure they could possibly get, because one of their TV future partners would be Fox in the Big 10, and the Big 12 has a deal with Fox. Makes all the sense in the world. And why not take advantage of being on ESPN a little while longer? It's better than Apple. That's all I'm saying. Let's see here. Music for Me 007. That's interesting. All the rumors are about Miami and Notre Dame because they both just got their AAU membership. AAU. I mean, if you think that's going to, look, Notre Dame does not have to get AAU to get to the Big Ten. All they got to do is say, okay, guys, we're ready. And the gate opens. Full membership, full ride, none of this partial money shit. Full everything from the Big Ten. The moment they decide to say yes, they got every dollar cent that the Big Ten can pack in their face, they're going to get. AAU or no AAU. It's fucking Notre Dame, people. Yeah, Miami's interesting. Because, that brings me to something else, like Jim Williams. Or Jim, is that right? Williams? Crap. Should have wrote it down. I usually do. Yeah, well, I was running late. Didn't write anything down. I believe it's Jim Williams. Nice guy. He's responded to me a couple times on Twitter, and I always think that's pretty cool. When you got some high roller like that, someone who's in the industry, and you tweet at them. It's not like, there's like 800 tweets. No one's going to get back at you with that. But when I see there's like, he tweets out something and I'm like the first one or two to respond to it, he usually gets back to you. And that's kind of cool. Yeah, he had said something about Miami and Georgia Tech because of the Atlanta and, of course, Miami market to the Big Ten. At least he thought that was the top deal. See, Larry Pilgrim, 2024 exposure, not 2023. Okay, well, I guess Larry, I won't know until I see the 2024 schedule. If we're playing everything on ESPN Plus and there's nothing coming on Big ESPN or Big Fox or at least FS1 and ESPN2, then, I get you. I don't know. Texas and Oklahoma only play so much, and if they're going to be doing an SEC schedule, then they're only playing. There's only eight of those games they're going to be playing. Everything else is going to be the Sister Mary's Children of the Poor. They're not going to be playing anybody, so why not put them on ESPN Plus? When they play Alabama, of course. Of course. But, Larry, Texas and Oklahoma will no longer have games on Fox at that point. So, Fox will have, of course, Big Ten stuff, but they're also going to feature a lot of Big 12 content because 2024, they're not going to be showing anything Pac 12 if Pac 12 is still a thing. They're not going to show any ACC shit. They're not going to be showing SEC shit. It's going to be Big 10 and Big 12. That's who they're going to be showing. So, and last time I checked, Fox is a pretty good channel for sports. Let's see, Curtis D316. How is exposure going to be bad? They will be on ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, ABC, Fox, FS1, and FS2. True. Texas, Oklahoma will be on ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN The Ocho, ABC, and that is it. That is it. I will say this, Curtis D316, you probably won't see a lot of Big 12 on ABC proper. That's probably going to be mostly reserved for SEC, which will include Texas and Oklahoma, probably some ACC stuff when Clemson or Florida State play each other, things of that nature. I think ABC has the rights to show some Notre Dame stuff when they play ACC games. I think there's 5 a year they have to play, something like 4 or 5. So there's not going to be a lot of room on ABC for Big 12. But, you know, we will be on ESPN once in a while, ESPN2 more often, of course, ESPN Plus, but plenty of Fox. We'll be on Fox quite a bit. Let's see. Blake Phillips, I thought you were dead, numbskull. No, just on vacation, sir. So where are we at? Does PAC still think they are surviving? Bless their hearts. It's sad that in 2023 we still can't cure stupid. No, we can't. Where we're at, essentially, is Colorado and Arizona, how that is going to work out. That's where that's at. And the clock's ticking. The clock's ticking. You're about to hit July 1st, a couple weeks away from that deadline, and then it becomes kind of, I'm not saying impossible, but it becomes a little more untenable, a little more difficult to get San Diego State into the fold if Colorado jumps. So you need to make something happen. You need to shoot or get off the pot before July 1st. That's probably the biggest deadline out there, period, in the story, no matter what Kurt Scholes or anyone else says. That's an actual deadline. You know, I've never set any deadlines. I didn't think they would get out of May before something happened. They did. So I'm like, okay. Now we're in, you know, what is it, June 13th, 14th, somewhere in there. I get, after my vacations, I stop, you know, for a whole week, I'm not concerned about the date. I don't care. And then, I don't know. Then a couple of days afterwards, I'm trying to get back into the worldly thinking of dates and time and shit back at work. So yeah, so it's like June 14th. We're just a couple of weeks away from July 1st. And that's a major deadline because that means now you have a year before your deal's up. The PAC deal is up. A year. And none of these schools can make a budget. They, you know, they all like to make budgets well in advance. They can't make any budgets, you know, because they don't know what they're making past the July 1st of 2024. They could kind of plan stuff out for this year, but after that, they have no clue. That's a big freaking problem, especially when you're hurting for cash like Washington State, Cal, and some of these other places. You're hurting for a lot of dough. Ooh, let's see here. Clint Moses, Texas, Texas OU and USC, UCLA will take up the exposure and time slots on ESPN and Fox. No. They'll take up time slots on CBS and NBC as far as UCLA and USC go. Not much on Fox. I think Fox is going to do mostly your early window stuff. then there's still FS1. So, no, that's not going to take up too much. Texas and OU, as far as having those teams, like, it's just a lot of options for ESPN. Big 12 is going to be fine. And like I said, outside of Texas and Oklahoma this year, there's plenty of prime windows, prime operating, you know, time slots for Big 12 games this year. And I'm not including Texas and Oklahoma in that. 365 Sports did a great job of breaking that down when the schedule came out. I'm sorry if you missed it. You shouldn't have, because they did a great job, unlike me. But they broke down all of the big, like the first 3 weeks, all of the big matchups and where they're going to be. You're talking Maine Fox, you're talking, Big Noon Fox, you're talking FS1, you're talking Maine ESPN, ESPN2. I mean, that's plenty of exposure for me. I don't know what else you want. I really don't. I mean, we don't have a game on the BBC yet. All right, maybe we can work on that. Okay. Larry Pilgrim at Curtis. 3 conferences, 42 teams, 7 games with ABC, ESPN, ESPN2. Fox will have 1 good spot for Big 12. ESPNU and FS1 is not great, competing with the new Big 10 and SEC. Well, Larry, do you expect the Big 12 to be on those 2 conferences level? Because they're not. I don't think any Big 12 fan has ever claimed that they're on the SEC level or the Big 10 level. And any of them that do tell you that we're on their level, you have my permission to just, backhand slap the shit out of them if you want, or just take your glove off. How dare you? Whatever, but Larry, we're not the Big 10, we're not the SEC. I think we're very well aware of that. However, ABC made it a point to do business with us. So we do have good matchups for them. And believe it or not, the SEC does not have a good matchup every single week. They don't. They don't. Now, when conference play starts, of course, but even then, I mean, look, Texas versus Missouri, okay? I don't know. I think I'd rather have TCU versus Baylor if I'm ESPN. I think I'd rather have, Oklahoma State versus Tech. I just would than Texas versus Missouri. So, and it may not even be that kind of, I don't know. We're going to have plenty of exposure. Like I said, we have deals with ESPN and Fox. Fox still has windows they're trying to fill. Hence why they're trying to get teams from the PAC into the Big 12. Same thing with ESPN. They're trying to get teams from the PAC into where? Into the Big 12. They want their late night window. They'd rather have their late night window with the Big 12 late night. That's what they'd rather have than to have to screw with the PAC. And that's for, that's with Fox as well. They just rather deal with the Big 12. They know Brett Yarmark. We're easier to deal with. We're not asking for Big 10 money here. We're in our lane. We know where our lane is, and we're happy to stay here. We're going to try to make it the nicest lane possible. Have a little branch off into Mexico. Maybe go into Europe with some basketball or whatever. Going up into New York with some basketball. We're going to try to expand where we can. We're going to try to stay in our lane, but make it a really nice, badass HOV lane. That's what we're going to try to do. But we're not going to try to go out over our skis like the PAC did. We're not going to get ridiculous. We're going to do business and do business the right way. We know our value. We'll even sometimes willing to come in a little bit underneath it if it means good quality business with good quality exposure. And it behooves ESPN and Fox to keep us happy. Now, you're not going to put Texas versus Alabama on ESPNU. That's not happening. All right, you're not going to put, with their ACC content, they're not going to put Clemson versus Florida State They're not going to put that matchup on ESPNU or ESPN Plus. That shit's going on the top shelf, top level. But Texas is not going to be playing Alabama every year or Georgia every year. It's going to kind of be a rotation. Same thing with Oklahoma. Now, they'll probably play A&M every year. So Texas versus A&M, Texas versus Oklahoma. Those are going to be prime slots for ESPN. And they're going to get the, whether it's ABC or prime ESPN slot somewhere. Yeah. But there's going to be room for the Big 12. I'm sorry if that disappoints some people. Just somehow, Virginia football makes it on TV, and Virginia sucks nuts royally. But they make it on TV. I see Rutgers playing. It might be ESPN2, or now it'd probably be Fox or, Fox FS1. But it happens. I go to a restaurant and I'm like, I'll be damned, there's a Rutgers game. I'll be damned, there's a Maryland game. It's TV. You got to fill the slots. And it's not always going to be who you think it's going to be. Woo! All right. I am back. Let's see here. Curtis D316, multiple time slots on Saturday plus Thursday and Friday night games. There you go. Larry Pilgrim. Curtis, Thursday and Friday are not good exposure. Data proves it. I know some people don't like charts. I don't care if it's Thursday. I don't care if it's Friday, because the Big 12 crowd will watch on Thursday and Friday. Well, they'll at least record the damn thing and watch it later. I mean, I know ESPN Plus will rebroadcast games later on. You probably watch it standalone, whatever. But, dude. I see Curtis D316. Not true. Look at West Virginia versus Pitt game on Thursday of last year. Got you there. Curtis got you. Blake Phillips. Larry is single-handedly ruining Utah chances of coming to Big 12. Everyone on every channel from Big 12 hates him. Sorry, Larry, but it's true. Larry, it's not wrong. Look, Larry is not being disrespectful. There are people, especially in ACC land, that can be very damn disrespectful. Larry's a good guy, damn it. Black Rain, what's up, Numbskull? What's up, dude? Nice to see you. D. Wayne, what's up? Good evening to you. Scotty King, FedEx in the house. Yeah, bastard. FedEx, huh? FedEx. It's a good job. It's just not quite UPS. I'm not saying UPS is like the greatest thing ever. Retirement's pretty damn good. The pay's pretty good. Do you know, Scotty, I'm a UPS driver. We get topped out after 4 years. Other companies, it takes you 20 years to get to your top pay. UPS, 4 years. I'm coming up on my 4th year this year. And that final jump, it's a big fucking jump. I can't wait. Dude, talk about some money. Larry Pilgrim. Blake, all good, buddy. I find it weird. Respectful conversation is now offensive. You're not offensive, Larry. You keep it respectful. That's fine. We can go back and forth. I don't have a problem at all going back and forth with Larry Pilgrim because he's a respectful guy. He may see the Big 12 a little differently, has a little more of a... But it's good. It's good to have someone to kind of keep you in check a little bit. I think Larry tries to keep people in check when it comes to the Big 12. And at heart, I'm a cynic. I'm a major cynic with anything, especially if you want to get into a science conversation. Oh, I'm a cynic of that shit all day long. Don't try to tell me how the universe started. Are you kidding me? We don't even know how life on this planet started. You want to talk about the universe? We're like single cell organisms living on a pair of nuts on a moose, dude. And you're trying to tell me right now we're looking at the moose's asshole through a telescope, and we're thinking, oh, look at the size of the universe. No, that's just a moose's ass. We have no idea what all else is out there. Good grief. That's the thing I hate about humanity. But I'm going to get off of that before I blow everyone's head clean off. But yeah, I'm a major cynic, and Larry Pilgrim is a bit of a Big 12 cynic. And I think that's perfectly fine. We can have fun conversations. We can kind of go at it a little bit. And Larry keeps it respectful. He's not trying to, call your mother a whore or anything like that. Clint Moses, Numbskull, thoughts on new 4 Big 12 teams? Do they suck at the P5 level for years or walk in and dominate Big 12 from day one? There's a big middle ground there, sir. Look, I think BYU is going to have a tough time the first year, maybe 2 years, and then they'll catch on and they'll do okay. Cincinnati is going to have a little rough the first year. We don't know about the new coach, right? That's the big problem there, the new coach. UCF is going to be better than everyone thinks they're going to be from the jump. Now, I'm not saying 10 wins. 8 or 9 is not out of the question at all. We could be going into, I don't know, mid-season, maybe, a little bit later than that. And you could be saying that UCF has a shot at the conference, or at least a shot to get to the title game. Oh, now, will they get there? I don't know. I think they'll fall short, but they're going to make a run at it. It's going to be interesting with them this year. Houston will take a couple of years. They kind of fell off. They fell off hard. And that's in the AAC, and now the competition steps up. So, yeah, they're going to struggle for a couple of years. So, to answer the question, I don't think UCF will struggle much. I think they're going to have some nice success. I'm not saying win the conference right off the bat or dominate the conference right off the bat. But I think they're going to be competitive year in and year out from the jump. That's what I think of UCF. As long as they have a quarterback, they better have a damn quarterback. And as far as Cincinnati, a lot of people doubt that new head coach. I'm giving Cincinnati a lot of I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt because they always seem to come up with a head coach that's worth a shit. And they found this dude, and a lot of people are like, oh, whatever. But I don't know. They keep hiring people that turn out to be badass. So I'm going to give the guy a shot. Let's see what he does. If he does work out, Cincinnati is the type of program that it may not take them but a year or two to get on track, and then there's someone to deal with. So, yeah, I think those are really good ads, and for the long term, BYU is going to be a son of a bitch. Once they get on track, they're going to be a son of a bitch. As far as going to Provo and playing that, no, that's going to be tough, man. That's going to suck. If you're a TCU fan like me, or if you're a West Virginia fan having to go to Provo, you're going to hate that shit. You're going to hate it. It's not easy going to Morgantown and winning anything either. But Provo is kind of the same kind of deal, man. It's a bitch. Oh, let's see here. Dwayne, off topic. I wish the state of Texas would build a high-speed train system like they have in Japan, Taiwan, etc., connecting Dallas, Fort Worth, Lubbock, Houston, Austin, San Antonio. Well, actually, they are working on that. They've been working on it for a while. What they want to do is connect the Texas Triangle. So they want to have high-speed rail going, and these plans have been in the works for a long time as far as Dallas to Houston, but they want Dallas, Houston, and Austin. That triangle. That's a bad triangle. Looks like a camel's poon, but yeah, they've been working on that for a while. It's a bitch. I mean, this isn't like Texas where they're just going to rip land away from ranchers and shit and farmers. You know, as you know, as environmentally friendly as California is, they don't have a problem booting someone out of their fucking house when it comes to building a train or something. They don't care. Texas, it's a little different. It's a little different. It's tough. When an old man doesn't want you building shit through his backyard, guess what? You're fucked in Texas. It's kind of hard to make it happen. I'm sure you can find stories where it has happened, but to that scale, high speed rail, that's expensive as shit. It takes a lot of land. So that's what's tough about that. Scotty King, Houston and BYU do well on the hardwood. UCF will be the best off the bat in football. I don't know about best. Oh, the best of the four. Yeah, yeah. Yo, hardwood, yeah, man. I mean, Houston's going to be, they're already competing. So is BYU. They've been competing for a long time. Black Rain, D. Wayne, I agree. Like I said, guys, they're working on it. Clint Moses, off topic once again. Only two states where mutual combat is legal: Washington and Texas. I'll be damned. No country for old men. Blake Phillips. Larry's a fun guy. It's just virtually everyone knows that we don't really need Utah. No, we don't need Utah there, Blake. It'd be nice to have Utah. It would be. They're good football. They're a good school. Are they a necessary ad? No. I think Colorado is a necessary ad. I think Arizona is a pretty necessary ad, especially when you're talking in terms of expanding the basketball brand. Is Utah really necessary? No. It's a nice get. It's a nice get. But Salt Lake City, you're already in Provo with BYU. That has the bigger overall fan base nationwide, international. Utah's a little redundant, but they do serve a purpose as far as time window is concerned. I know it's mountain time again, but Utah is perfectly capable, as is BYU, of playing a late night window for ESPN if needed. So it's good to have them for multiple reasons. Necessary? No. No, because you can do the same thing with other schools. So you don't necessarily need them. I guess I'll finish your thought here, Blake. Sorry. And he thinks Utah is above Big 12. No, they're not. And we're over here like, we don't really even want you. Well, I want Utah, Blake. Yeah, there are Utah fans that think that their school is too good for the Big 12. And I'm like, you were just in the Mountain West. You were just in the freaking Mountain West. Don't tell me you're too good for the Big 12. Don't tell me it's this big step down. Where's your TV deal? Before we start talking about who's got step what, who's better, who's this, that, we know what money we're making. What are you making? Yeah. AAR. Expect BYU to come out throwing every game in the Big 12. Yeah, they're going to bring it. They're going to bring it. Like I said, they're going to play hard. That's one thing things I do respect about BYU. They don't lay down, and that's cool. I don't think that's going to really help them have a ton of success the first year in the Big 12. 4 or 5 wins. I don't think they make a bowl game the first year. I think it's going to be really tough for them to win a bowl game this year. They can shock me. Dude, this is football. Anything can happen. I see Larry Pilgrim is thinking about it. Wayne Russell. Science reported today that the chicken came first. That they use the birth that they use to birth live. The chicken came first. Son of a bitch. AAR expects Cincy Bearcats to come out smoking in the Big 12. Well, dude, it's a good program. And like I said, we're still got to see about the coach, but I trust the program of Cincinnati to hire a guy that's going to be good until he proves that he ain't. Like the Oklahoma guy. I can't remember the Oklahoma coach's name. That's how insignificant Oklahoma was last year. I can't even remember their coach's name anymore. It damn sure ain't big, sexy Lincoln Riley. Nope. Nope. AAR. Oh, I already read yours. Tim Bales. Don't need or want Utah. Just got rid of Texas and Oklahoma. Don't need that crappy attitude. I think what it is here, Tim, I think if Utah joined the Big 12, all of a sudden, oh, hey, what's up? Hey, what are y'all drinking? We're drinking Paps. What you drinking? That's what it, right? They just walk into the party after talking shit. That's what it would be. What? Hey, look, dude. I mean, we were over there. You gotta fight for the conference. So bro. We're gonna fight for the conference, bro. That's what it's gonna be. Oh, now we're Big 12, man. Look, I even got a banner in the background. that's what it'll be, man. So I don't think it'll be the crappy attitude of Texas and Oklahoma. Oh, we hold up the. Where would you be without us? You would be nothing. That's Texas, Oklahoma. And unfortunately for them, we're still here. Still got the same business partners, same media partners, making actually a little more money. Fuck yourself. Dwayne, what do you listen to when delivering packages? Football podcast? I never listen to podcasts when I'm delivering, Dwayne. Thing is, my route, I'm usually getting around 200 stops a day. So, what music? Usually death metal. Something that's going to have my ass cooking. That's what I'm listening to. I won't lie, there's some. It'll be death metal mixed in with some old school gangster rap, like West Coast stuff. The hell was that called? That label? Death Row stuff, like Dre and Snoop. The old stuff though, old early '90s stuff from them. Dwayne Venables, yeah, Venables, old vegetables. I don't know. I don't trust Venables. Venables is going to have a hard time keeping that job. That's what I think. He didn't show shit last year. And that's Oklahoma. Okay? Texas, yeah. They fell off. They've been looking for a coach. They think they have a coach. They don't, I'm not sold on that coach either. All of a sudden, everyone's sold in Texas on that coach. I can't remember his name either. I think, didn't he coach for a little bit out of Alabama? I think he was at USC. Yeah, I think he was at USC for a minute. I don't know. I think he had a problem with alcohol or something. I think that's what happened with him. Yeah, but he hadn't done flaming shit in Texas yet at UT. Oh, but if you listen to the sports, the national sports media, oh, Texas is going to run away with the Big 12. Yeah, that's what they said last year, wasn't it? Wasn't it? They didn't even make it to the conference championship game. Kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. My whole ass. Blake Phillips, Greg Flugar has been fun to watch the past couple weeks. He has. He's got a good show over there. I mean, as long as you're cool with all the visual imagery, which I am, I think it's fun. Yeah, I think it's fun. He does drive you a little crazy once in a while. Sarkeesian Dwayne. Thank you. Yes, Sarkeesian. Yeah, let me know if he was at USC. I think he was at USC for a while. And I do believe he was at Alabama for a minute. it's one of those things, you're at Alabama, you win a title. Well, you didn't. The team did. St. Nick got another title. What did you do? I know you get your credit, but that doesn't mean you're a good head coach. Still waiting on that one. And yet, I'm not going to need help with this name. I'm going to get this name. Son of a bitch. Damn vacation. Fucking TCU coach. TCU coach. Why can't I cannot think of the fucker's name. It's not. See, now I got Sarkisian in my brain. It's not. It's an S name, though. From SMU. I know everything about the guy. Year one. Goes to the national championship game. So they hire these guys, pay them all this money, and TCU ends up with the best coach. That's all I'm saying. It ain't Patterson, D. Wayne. He used to be there. Oh, Donnie, just take Utah State instead. It would be a slap in the face to Utah if they got left out of a conference, but USU is in one. Wow. That would be funny for about 5 minutes, and then we'd realize we have Utah State. Then we would throw. Oh, what the hell? He didn't make a bowl game with UT's talent the first year. That's bad coaching, D. Wayne. Absolutely. Sarkisian is an overrated sumbitch. Let's see. Black Rain agrees with old Blake Phillips. Yep. Greg Flugar has got it going. He's a good guy. I like him. Let's see here. I think Sarkisian was offense under Nick Saban. True, D. Wayne. All he had was 42 5-star freaking recruits, and we wonder why the offense was good. And you're at Texas. It's not like you're hurting for 5 or 4-star guys at Texas. What'd they do? Couldn't get to a Has he been to a conference championship game yet? I mean, what we had year 3 or 4 with Sarkisian? With Sark? That's what all the national media loves to call him. Sark. Overrated. God. Let's see. Blake Phillips. And can he not let Western Civic come on and talk for 10-minute rants? That guy is bonkers. Yeah, he is. But you know what? That's kind of part of the show there, Blake. Look, if I was to do a radio thing, all right, or a radio thing, phone call segment or whatever, I'm not. But if I was going to, you would want a caller like that. You would want a guy that's there on your show damn near every time you go live. It just be outlandish and just piss everybody off or say a bunch of wild, hairy ass shit. You would want that. It's good for the show. It's just good for it. So as much as Western Civic is just a insanely just out there, I ate too much acid in the 60s type of guy, and I guarantee you he's got a crotchal infestation of something. As much as all that's probably true, he's good for your show. That's what I'll say. Let's see. Black Rain. WC, I agree, talks. What you said? I agree, talks way too loud. I never listen. That room is located in Area 51. That is probably true, Black Rain. See, Donnie. Sark was head coach of Washington and USC. Didn't really go well either. Yeah. I mean, look, UT has tried everything. Like the next great up-and-coming coach, Herman, something like that. They got the coach from Houston. I think it was their first black hire ever, and chased him out of that son of a bitch as fast as they could. I, they're just impatient assholes down there. And now they've hired Sark, and they're going to give him all the time in the world to suck. Okay, I'm gonna say that shit ain't gonna play in the SEC. They're gonna get ran the hell over until they get a good head coach in that bitch. Stop getting the retreads. You got to find a guy and stick with him, and hopefully that's the guy. You got to get a little lucky too. All right, guys. Damn near 11 o'clock my time. I know some of you guys out on that East Coast probably dying. When's he gonna shut up? When I go to bed? All right. I will be back with a video this week and start getting back on schedule, and be back live again on Sunday afternoon, sometime between 2 and 4. Texas, Charlie Strong, then Tom Herman. That is correct, Blake Phillips. They did Charlie Strong wrong, I think. D-Wayne, you're east. Yeah, it's getting late as shit. All right, guys. I appreciate y'all. San Antonio soon. Well, it's waiting for you there, D-Wayne. You just got to beat out a Californian for a house. All right, guys. Like I said, I'll have a video out before Saturday. That's what I'm hoping for. I'll have a video out before Saturday. And like I said, live Sunday. All right, guys. Peace out. Thanks for being here.